Daily refinement. It's been a minute. Today I want to talk about the most important part of reselling in 2023 or any time actually, and it's actually just focusing on higher and higher quality everything. I think this is super important because if you focus on higher and higher quality, it makes your overall quality of life better. You have to think about the customers you're serving and yourself and your family. Those are the main audiences that you're trying to serve. But I'm going to go through the 10 different things that you can do, in my opinion, to improve the quality of your resale operation. So let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. Looks like it's going okay. I see Vince in the chat. Okay, let's get into it. So number one, the most important part of reselling by far of the 10 is to be able to source a profitable item. That's going to be sort of the focus of my new group. As you guys know, I'm moving my group onto a new platform, and I'll keep up both platforms for the rest of the year, but I'm going to start a new platform. And the focus is really going to be on teaching people how to find profitable items in their area, and then also the other 9 parts of what we're going to go over today. But higher quality means, in my opinion, sells faster and for more money. In the hot seat this morning, we were talking to Jimmy, and he was talking about what he really is looking for, which is like weekends off, $70,000 a year. And with Jimmy's schedule, he can actually finish his entire eBay day by 9 a.m. So this is something interesting. I was actually going to consider hiring somebody to come here, start an eBay store from scratch. So you come here, bring 10 things from home, you come here, and do eBay exactly how I tell you to do it. So we're going to open up an account. We're going to set up a checking account that's separate from your regular checking account right from the get-go. You're going to bring stuff from home because you're going to try not to use any of your own money. Come here, photograph, list, put everything away in a date-based inventory system. Then the rest of the day, go out and look for $20 or higher profit items. At the end of the day, come back here, show me the items that you found. We'll go over them, prepare them for the next day so that you can start the next day with photographs and listing right out the gate. The thing is, I don't know what would happen after they reach reseller nirvana, which is my entire goal. Essentially, when you are listing and selling about the same items per day. And 10 items per day is roughly 1,000 items in your store. So you have a room, I think, about 300 to 400 square feet, about the size of a maybe 1 or 2 car garage. That size of a space. You have 1,000 items in there. You can find them. It's date-based. And I think the question is, how long would it take this person who's never resold before to go all the way to a full-time income? And that would be interesting to me. I just wonder what happens when they finally reach it. Do they just graduate and I fire them? I don't know what the point of that would be, but I don't want them to do it their way. I want them to do it my way. Then after, once it's all set up, they can do it however they want, but my goal is essentially to have people pay their bills first. So I want them to set it up how I would set it up if I was starting completely from scratch. I was actually talking to my videographer last week about how my channel's evolved because I'm not really changing anything. The current version of this reselling operation is where I want it to be. I'm not really making any changes, so I haven't really been making that many YouTube videos. But I was inspired sort of over the weekend by talking to some different resellers to maybe just redo all my content again with what I know now. I thought at first that might be a little bit boring, but I think that it's probably not boring because a lot of people have never been to my channel before, and I've learned so much over the last 7 years that I think a new series from scratch, hopefully with somebody starting from scratch, they can see it happen in real time and it can help people get inspired. So first thing is picking quality inventory. My focus is going to be on this thing called the $20 profit guide, and how I'm going to essentially make this playbook of stuff is I wanted to have brand, a little brief description of the brand, the category that it's in. I want to go over different logos, different keywords that people are looking for, and then I want to actually post 25 solds that were $30 and above plus shipping. So people can get an idea of, okay, this is the brand, this is what it is, the keywords that are relevant, the background of all those different keywords. Then, once you see that guide, the mission will be for you to actually make your own guide on your own categories, on your own products, to show you guys what to do. So that is going to be one of the cornerstones of my group, showing people how to upload those every single month. And I have a new system. So a lot of people have been asking, they don't want to use Facebook, so my new platform will not be on Facebook anymore. And this $20 profit guide will be continuous, and I have a new freebie for everybody, because the main purpose of my group is to help people build their dream company. That's the main purpose. So if you contribute to the $20 profit guide, you get your membership for free. It would be awesome to me if everybody was learning how to fish. So if you want to put the effort in and learn how to actually find items that are profitable in your area, the group will be free. I'll keep that open. You can just keep doing it every single month, never pay any fees, and my mission will be solved because you will actually be learning how to resell and finding items in your area that are profitable. So you could continuously do that and stay a member of the group for free forever. So right now, people will get both groups, the Facebook group and the new system, which launches pretty soon. You have two systems going, and if you submit to the $20 profit guide every single month, don't have to pay for the group ever. Okay.
Uri is asking, does the group go over bulk liquidation?
It does. So bulk liquidation is kind of what I do. I do like season end, past season, clearance, liquidation, shelf pulls, returns, all that good stuff. It is very complicated. I wouldn't recommend you start reselling because there's a lot of stuff that's hard to sell. And you need multiple avenues for selling different goods. Otherwise, it's too hard to move the quantity that comes in with bulk. The main focus is going to be people thrifting and finding 10 items a day to make $70,000 a year. That's the main focus. If you want to do bulk liquidation, it's generally a much larger operation because there's just so much more volume. Yep. So I'm pretty excited. Thank you, Kelly, for stopping by. And I'm glad for those of you that are stopping by live for the first time, welcome. My name is Chris. I'm currently running an operation here in Oakland, California, and our goal is to sell 500 sales or more per day. Is there more questions?
Bargain Hunter says, update and improve is never a bad idea.
Yeah, update and improve is never a bad idea. So my channel has been about daily refinement. I was kind of just focused on my own refinement, and at this point, I'm happy with where I'm at. So it's kind of weird making content, but now I'll just focus on refinement for everybody else. There's so many people in the group. I'm so grateful for this like awesome community of people doing what they want to do, but I think 99% of resellers want the same thing. They want a small store, 1,000 items or less. They want to make $20 profit or more in items, so they're making a lot of profit per item. They want their weekends back, and they want to be done by noon. That's like, I've been asking resellers what they want. That's what they really want. They want to be done early. If they want to go sourcing at estate sales, garage sales, flea markets, they'll have the time to do that. If they want to make a YouTube channel, I'm going to provide the resources for that too. That's pretty straightforward. Pretty easy stuff, and I want to make sure that it's accessible for everyone. That's why I'm cool with having it be free. Wholesale, as weird as this sounds, my entire Whatnot stream is kind of a wholesale setup. You wouldn't make a lot of money since it's already gone through me, the middleman. But essentially, my goal is to sell items for 90% off MSRP. As wild as that sounds, I have to make enough money at 90% off. And that's my goal, is to just give good deals 24/7 so there's people on my stream buying all day long. Actual wholesale for me, I don't have enough volume to do that. There might be some small opportunities, but I'm not set up to do wholesale. I don't have enough square footage. It's too hard for me to do that. And having people show up here, you'd have to have a high minimum order for that to make sense, and I think it's very difficult to do that. I've never really seen anybody pull off small wholesale successfully, to the point where that's their only operation.
Shana's asking, Canada has a lot of brands I never see US resellers show. Some brands, but not a lot. Would it work?
It would work, yeah. So, Canada is tough because Canada postage is not favorable for sellers. Like, let's say the UK, it's £3 to ship like 2 kilograms or something, which is like really, really cheap. It's like a third of what it costs in the US. Canada Post is not like that. So it's really, really important to find great brands like Reigning Champ or Lululemon to sell to get the margins you need. So I would love it worldwide. If it works in Denmark, Germany, England, throw the $20 profit guide in there. I'll give you free membership to the group. Pretty straightforward. I'll just give you a coupon each time you submit it, and you can get free access. But like what I really want is an army of people who are curious about finding great items. That's because at this point, the group is already huge. It doesn't need to be bigger. I just want people that are serious about improving their craft and improving the quality of their life, their family, their store. Sourcing is a huge thing. So an example I want to give you guys is the Goodwill bins here sell shoes for 50 cents by the Gaylord. So you could buy 400 shoes for 200 bucks. Very cheap, right? But then you got to go through and figure out how many of those shoes are sellable. So it's like $200 for 400 pairs. For me, generally, I'm not finding more than 20 pairs that are in the condition where it's like you clean them and they're ready to sell. The wear, right? The tread is to a certain point where maybe somebody just got them really dirty and they donated them, or if somebody wore them to death, like there's no tread left, even if it's a great brand, those are more difficult to sell. So if you're just picking really good shoes from that 400 pairs, you're probably only going to find 20 pairs that are decent, and that makes your average sale price $10. Now, I've tested this with different resellers just because I'm curious, and some of the shoe sellers have told me that they want to pay $15 to $20 a pair to have shoes that don't require cleaning and don't require, like the tread is good and they don't require cleaning. That's really hard. That means out of 400 shoes, you might only get 10 pairs. So that means you end up paying $20 per pair, but those ones are ready to go. You can just go home, stuff it, and then get it sold. Mm-hmm. Let me check this real quick. Hello? Okay, are you in the back or in the front? In front. Okay, I'll be right out. Thanks. Hey, Bobby, do you mind getting lunch? It's in the front. Yep, sure. Thank you. Sorry, guys, real life. What was the question?
It's the Canada brands. Shauna says that they could sell on US eBay. Get the Canada brands.
Yeah, you can, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, any brand worldwide will give you an idea of why something is valuable. There'll be some keywords in your guide that are going to help everybody.
Deborah says, hi Chris, I've been using Vendoo for cross-listing and I'm going to switch to List Perfectly. Any recommendations for cross-listing?
So I don't recommend cross-listing, but I'm no longer negative towards it. If you want to cross-list, that's fine. List Perfectly and Vendoo, Join Flip, those services do the same thing. They essentially take the information from one listing and post it onto a different website. That is one method of promotion, would be to put the same item on a different platform. I don't recommend cross-listing because I'd rather you use that time to just list another item on one platform. Instead of having one item on 3 platforms, I'd rather you have 3 items on one platform. That's just the way I look at it. But if you want to use List Perfectly, Vendoo, any of those other sites, they're essentially, to me, all the same. It's the same idea behind just getting your item on multiple platforms. For me, multiple platforms, I have different items on different platforms. So when people say, I don't want all my eggs in one basket, I'm okay with that. But what you're doing is, I want different eggs in different baskets. I don't want the same eggs in multiple baskets. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully this egg analogy makes sense for you guys. I don't want the same eggs in multiple baskets. Mm-hmm. Different eggs in different baskets. That's how I approach it. If one platform goes down, the other one has different stuff in it and it's already going.
Along the same lines, Kelly says, I've only been selling for 2 months. I have lots of inventory, but tried 3 platforms. Now focusing on one platform because I'm having trouble tracking. Took me all day to make a tracking sheet, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that in the beginning because it's already so hard to learn how to resell in general. I would just pick one platform and get good at it. To me, I'm just trying to give people what I think is the easiest way to do it, which is just really master one platform. And the 10 steps, maybe you guys want to pause the video and write these down, but these are what we talk about in the group. Sourcing profitable items, date-based inventory system, picking, packing, and shipping an item in under 2 minutes, getting an item ready for sale in under 3 minutes, pricing and researching items in under 3 minutes, staging and photographing an item in under 3 minutes, listing and optimizing so people can find your listing. There's 13 steps to that part. Customer service, administrative, resetting the zeros when you set your store back to where it was before you started, bookkeeping and accounting. The goal is for you to do our checklist every single Friday and all your books are in order. That way the first week of January you can file your taxes instead of everybody doing it in April. And then fixing your existing listings and running promotions, I call the sold method. And cross-listing I would consider a promotion. It's a way of getting more traffic to your items. I consider that a promotion. I also consider that the least important part of the 10 steps that I just processed. Because if you have a crappy item, don't list it properly, bad pictures, wrong item specifics, you could
pricing is
cross,
off. Or the pricing is off.
or the pricing is off, then it doesn't matter how many platforms you list it on, nobody's going to buy it.
They like your ringtone.
Like my ringtone. Yeah, I like it. I don't know if you guys bought ringtones back in the day, but everyone had Soulja Boy back then when ringtones were a thing.
Garbage Trucks of Valley Center, California says, how do I sell on Whatnot and what are the Whatnot fees?
Whatnot charges 8% of your sale price, and then they charge the processing fee on the total amount. So the fees end up being 12-ish%. It depends on how high or low your average sale price is. So it can go as low as like 12% and as high as like 20%, depending on what you sell. Getting started on Whatnot's pretty straightforward. I just made a video like a week ago that people didn't watch because people aren't that interested in starting on Whatnot. But if you are interested, I consider myself a Whatnot expert. I can give you some ideas on how to do it. We've sold like 85,000 items here, so a lot of stuff. And I have a couple streams, so I can get you set up properly to do it. The fees are significantly less than eBay or Poshmark, but it requires, I saw Harry Tornado post this in the Whatnot group, which is great personality, great items, consistent schedule. I mean, I've been talking about that for 7 years. So just show up regularly with great stuff, and it helps if you have a good personality, but not required. Mary's asking, do I move to a different part of the location, or is it just a different part of the warehouse? This is the same part of the warehouse, it's just cleaned up. So this is the area by the lunch, or the lunch areas over here. This is our main streaming area. I no longer store items here. I have a separate location that stores items. So this area will be, there's only a few boxes that you guys can see right here in the stream, and these will all be gone soon. This is only going to be where we present items. There won't be any storage here.
JD Fan says, I have some good items. I've taken good photos and try to use the right keywords and pricing, but my items are not selling. I'm getting very frustrated. What can I do?
We have what's called a sold method. So there's 13 different ways that you can optimize an item before you lower the price. So you start with quality, 13 different ways to optimize the listing. If it doesn't sell then you would start your aged inventory process, which is what you do as items get older. So you would run promotions, you would run markdowns, you would run ads, like promoted listings to get your stuff more traffic. And then if it doesn't sell after the price is being lowered, you just got to donate and move on to the next item. So my sold method is start with quality, optimize, liquidate, or lower the price. D is donate or discard. Most likely your item is just an average item and there's a lot of competition. Your prices are probably a little bit too high. You're probably, of the 13, there's a few that you're probably missing. And then ultimately, not enough people have seen it that want to buy it at the price that makes sense to them. So that's generally the reason why your items are not moving. But that's why I have the L and the D part, because you got to liquidate, you got to donate items that suck. I have been my business has improved a lot since I've gotten rid of the bad inventory by just starting it at $1. So whatever it sells for, it's out of the store. Get better stuff in the store.
Kelly says, just got invited to go live after only 45 days on the site and spent 2 weeks to create a small set. Also moved my inventory to a larger space and created a work and shipping station. Scared.
Don't be scared. That's you're right on the right tracks. Now you just got to start using those systems. So when I hire that person to come work here and start their eBay store, right from the beginning, we're going to have all these systems set up. And they can just focus on finding great items. I hope that makes sense, guys. If you have all your systems set up, your photography, your listing, you know how to price items and research it, you know how to do all that, then you have all day to find good items. Essentially, they would come to work here for 2 hours, then go shopping for 6 hours. And they would have Saturday and Sunday off. So you got to have your systems in place. Don't be scared. You're on the right track.
Kathy says, hi Chris, I agree with you totally about cross-listing. I'm struggling on trying to just list on eBay. I'm old and I keep trying to do my very best every day. I'm going to keep on plugging along. Thanks. Thanks,
You
Kathy.
got it. Yeah, if you want to get, again, it's just really about consistently learning, and each time you improve one of the 10 things I just talked about, you increase your hourly rate, which is the whole point. Should I ask you want to ask the D4 question?
Oh,
Davey?
yeah.
Oh, Davey.
Or is it Davey?
Davey, it's Davey.
What sell-through rate should I shoot for?
Okay, so sell-through rate that you should shoot for. I'm probably going to release a free course for everybody talking about how to price items so they sell. Really depends on your time frame, right? So if you're pricing iPhone, bar of gold, silver bullion, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Well, all of those things that are like highly liquid, you only need to be a little bit below market value for it to sell. Something illiquid, like let's say somebody was offering me 10,000 clothing items from their store that are all listed, and they're like, I get this offer probably like once every 2 weeks. Hey Chris, I have 10,000 items in my store, nothing is selling. Do you want to buy all of it? Probably not, because it's not liquid. That person can't sell it, even though they lowered the price to $1 plus shipping. They can't sell their items, even for $1. All 10,000 items in their store. That sell-through rate, right, is very, very low, because those items are really bad. So in that scenario, the sell-through rate that you should aim for is, I guess if you're selling if you have 10,000 items in your store and you're only selling one a day, it's going to take you around 300 years to sell your items. That's a sell-through rate that's too long, right? So you'd have to think about replacing a slower selling item in your store with a faster selling item in your store. So the sell-through rate that I go for is just a little bit faster than what it shows in the 90-day total. So if an item is taking about 2 months to sell, I want it to sell in 2 months or less. 3 months to sell, 3 months or less. I'm going for faster than the market, because I just think there's so much stuff for sale. I really don't want to be in the storage business and just having so much stuff that, I don't really want to wait for the money when there's so many things we can sell.
Laughing Man says, can you speak or provide direction on why a liquidation company for tax purposes?
I'm not going to give any tax advice, but a liquidation company typically doesn't have, their cost of goods is traditionally very low. So it's like you have low overhead, except for your building. So building staff and space. Sorry. Building staff, space, cost of goods. Building staff, space, cost of goods. Space and building are the same, actually. Building, cost of goods, staff for a liquidation company. Is that tax advantageous? I guess you get a lot of tax write-offs, but you have to sell the items to get enough revenue.
Mm-hmm. Deborah says, I've done Whatnot, but I'm not used to live selling and I get nervous and I don't have a following. Any recommendations?
Great stuff, great personality, consistent schedule. You don't need any social following to make it work. Frank, the first person I interviewed for Whatnot a couple of weeks ago, he has no social media following and he sells over 1,000 items a day. Doesn't even have an Instagram or YouTube, so only on Whatnot sells over 1,000 items a day because he's been consistently streaming for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Tay is saying, thrift stores here in Michigan are too high. Do you think it's possible to make a living just sticking with Salvation Army outlet, live by the... Yes. We have a specific call with Alex on Mondays. She is only Goodwill bins. She makes a full-time living with a toddler. She only sources one time a week, too. She sources one time a week, lists the other 6 days, and she makes a full-time living with Pay by the Pound. Pay by the Pound is in the top 5 best ways to source for reselling. It's an excellent, excellent way to resell. Definitely works.
Alessio says, I know you did a Whatnot tutorial. Thank you for that. But how do I post multiple items on my show without it requiring a picture at all?
You have to do it before the auction starts, and you have to use desktop. That's how you do it.
Louis says, sell a little bit of everything or just one category?
So the person that I was going to hire to work for me to list 10 items a day on eBay, everything seller. Because everyone keeps saying like, oh, it's boring to do niche down. Okay, then no niche. Bring me elephant tusks that are not ivory. Is that even a thing? Okay, bring me taxidermy, vintage boombox, blend tech pitcher jug, soccer cleats, banker's light that's fragile, bike tire, and router, okay? Since if you guys want to go that way, right? That's fine. Just bring those 10 items. Hopefully they're all $20 profit or more. We'll do the exact same system. Photograph all 10 of these objects from the universe in a row. label them all so we can find them easily in a date-based inventory system, list all 10 of them right in a row, put them all back on the shelf in order, and go out looking for random things again. If I think it would actually be more entertaining for you guys if this person picks 10 random items every single day. It's just exhausting compared to listing the same thing every single day. It's like being a bartender and every single day the drink of the day is different. Just a lot of work, having to learn a whole new drink every single day.
O'Shea says, has anyone come handicap resellers? Like, are there any
There are tons of handicap resellers. In fact, the blind setter in Nevada, that store, all 30 people that work there are blind. So I mean, that's really hard. Imagine your job is to list stuff on a computer and you can't see. So they have all kinds of tools to make it work. And there's people here that are working out of there's single parents here that have 3 kids that are making it work. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's somebody out there with less than you doing more than you.
Sam says taxidermy is legal in some states.
Is that true? Taxidermy, I wonder, there's probably a lot of DIY taxidermy, I would guess then. So I can't recommend doing that, but I think, is that free? I guess if you get a tag to hunt a squirrel in your local district and you catch a squirrel, you could stuff it and sell it on eBay. I don't know what taxidermy squirrels go for, but that's like really taking advantage of your natural resources. Davey is saying, with not much knowledge whatsoever in items and categories, would you just pick a category and do an in-depth study on it? I wouldn't do that. I would essentially go out to a garage sale and look everything up in the very, very, very beginning, because you're going to find everything at a garage sale, and it's going to usually be pretty reasonable. Maybe like calculators, video games, equipment, clothing, shoes. You're going to find a little bit of everything. Look everything up to learn and try to get your bearings about you to figure out what you like selling and don't like selling, and then use that as a basis to start figuring out what categories you want to deep dive. Also, our group, the $20 Profit Guide, is mainly based on finding things locally that make sense for you. So like in your area, maybe fishing lures are very common, and so you want to sell that type of thing. So again, it's really more based about what you can find than doing deep dives, because the reason why I picked women's clothing is because it's easier to find where I'm at. So I just picked in a convenient category versus picking something I'm more into, like let's say golf putters. It would be harder here specifically to do that, since there's not a lot of golf courses right where I live. You'd have to go further out from the city to get more golf clubs. So I just try to make my life easier and pick something that's close to me.
Duncan is asking if they should promote at 95%.
You can. I know some people promote at 95% when they have 100% margin. So like, if you're, like stickers as an example, you can print something for 2 pennies and sell it for $10. In that scenario, probably not 95%, but I've seen 50 to 80% promoted listings. Mama Hype says, I am mostly Goodwill bin shopper. That's very low cost of goods. Should I price at market value or at my profit margin? Definitely market value. Like, you wouldn't sell things at what you paid for them. What you paid for them shouldn't affect what you sell the item for, to be honest.
Duncan says, what's your working plan to work around the holidays when shipping is going to be delayed? I think I will go in the same way. I think I will go in time away December 15th for a break.
I guess you would extend your handling. I'm planning on shipping no longer than 48 hours. So, but I have help with shipping. So I don't want it to ever be more than 2 days, and I'm aiming for 1 day for handling, but you can extend your, I think December 15th and longer, most people have already missed the Christmas craze, so it might be a little bit slower. Usually the week after Christmas is really slow for me.
Luis is asking, hope you don't mind, but why did you switch used to new?
Volume. So like it's really, really, really hard to get more than 200 quality items that are $20 profit and over in my area without spending my whole day driving. That's why I switched to new. So I'm okay with a $5 profit now on a brand new item and just sell more. There's unlimited new items. So I'm just going to order and continue going.
Stan was asking, wouldn't you lose the rest since eBay fees are 14%? I think they're talking about the promoting.
Yeah, Sam, you would lose money. If you decide to promote that high, you would lose money. So that's why I was going to say 50 to 80%. If you're going to go 80%, it's probably because you're trying to gain that rank. And then once you have the rank, then you lower your promoted listings down to hopefully 0. But I'll give you guys an example of promoted listings working, or almost working. I needed to get batteries for my daughter's book. She has a book that sings, and it ran out of batteries. So I Amazoned the batteries, and it said the first 3 listings were promoted listings: $8.99, $5.99, $6.99 for batteries. Now I was just thinking, whatever, I'm just going to buy the $5.99 one for batteries. But then I was like, I don't want to fall for the promoted listing. So I scrolled a little bit lower, and the next listing was $3.99. So like the first organic listing was the cheapest, but how many people on their phone never even get to that listing because they just need it, they buy it, they don't scroll down anymore. That's why you see sometimes on eBay people selling stuff for super high. It's because the buyer didn't scroll.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the super chat, Mama Hype.
Thank you, Hype.
Half a cup of coffee.
Half a cup. In the Bay Area, a third of a cup.
They also say, what are you really interested in?
In general?
I guess so.
I'm really interested in helping people build their ideal life. I feel like I'm super blessed because I feel like I do whatever I want every single day. So I would like other people to have that awesomeness, because it's like I just basically choose what my schedule wants to be and then do that. So I'd like help you guys all build some version of that. Mm-hmm. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's priorities are different, but it's really nice to be able to dictate your own schedule.
Kelly says, I started all 3 sites at the same time, but I noticed that eBay will advertise the same thing or similar on my item that I'm selling at the bottom of my listing. I'm not sure how that is fair. Your opinion?
Life is not fair. I feel like what they're looking for is in the best interest of the customer. So your item, you might price at $500, but it's only worth $10. eBay is going to hide your listing so the customer can't even see it because they don't want the customer to be annoyed because your pricing is way off. So I think if you think about what's fair for the customer, that's a better way of looking at it, not what's fair to you as the seller. Because when I buy something, I don't really think about the seller as much as the item that I'm looking for. So OSHA sources most of their stuff from Facebook. Facebook is a fantastic place to source. I would say probably the easiest category to make a little bit of cash is the baby category, like bassinets, strollers, baby clothing. Mm-hmm. People are giving that away. Like, please come take all of it. I'll pay you $5 to come take all of it, because there's just they grow out of stuff so fast that the like 0 to 3 year stuff is so common, and a lot of it is actually really valuable. You can get stuff for, like, people spent $400 on baby clothing for the first 2 years, and they all wore it one time, and they give it away on Facebook Marketplace for free. So you can start there, resell that for a few bucks to get your snowball rolling. Mm-hmm. Facebook Marketplace is a fantastic place to start.
Duncan says, I'm the same, Chris. I got whatever I want and no boss. eBay freedom is a nice position to be in when you don't have to worry.
It is so different. I don't have to make YouTube videos. I don't have to resell. I don't have to run the group that I'm running. I can just do whatever. I want to, right? I want to run this business. I want to run the YouTube channel. I want to share ideas that make sense for people and help people get what they're looking for. And you have to look at what you want in relation to what other people want to build the right balance of business. I like the book Thou Shalt Prosper by I think it's Rabbi Daniel Lapin, is that his name? I really like that book because it just shows that you want to provide value for the rest of your life. Like, it doesn't matter what age you are. There's a lot of value that you get for serving another person. So I hope other people have that kind of mindset, because it's easier.
Louis says, if you have to start over, what will you do?
If I have to start over, I will sell anything that I own. I'll sell my couch and sit on the floor. I always told you guys that. Sell my rugs, sell my lamps, sell all my clothes. Just get a little bit of, you need cash to get this going. So like, I would just sell things that I already own. I would pick up side gigs. I would get a part-time job. I would get a full-time job and do it on the side. Because you have to, like, you don't have to have a ton of money to make this work, but if you have like a couple $100, it really helps you get the ball rolling. And just think of every $20 as your last $20. Like, do I really want this item, or do I want to keep the 20? Like, if most people, they take what they buy and they're like, I paid $20 for this. And I'll just say, I'd rather have the $20 than what you bought. Because it's too hard to sell what you bought for a profit. I want my $20 back so I can buy something different. And a lot of people listening right now, like their items in their store, they would definitely trade them for what they paid for them. So that's something to consider.
I am the real Murph says, Chris, favorite Thanksgiving food item to resell or eat on Thanksgiving?
Brian, what's up? I actually do like turkey if it's prepared well, but I have high uric acid, so I'm not supposed to eat turkey. But my favorite turkey day dish. I was gonna take a group poll. Christine, what about you?
Oh, it's hard.
I like candied yams.
Oh, yeah, those are so good. I
Okay.
love stuffing, so usually I make it
Stuffing
myself.
is really good. What about you guys? What kind of Thanksgiving food items do you guys like to eat?
Yeah.
Duncan's asking if I'm buying my staff Christmas presents this year. Not sure, but I do buy lunch on Tuesdays though. Let's see.
Guy says, Chris, I live in San Luis Obispo. Been trying to come to see you for a while, just a few hours away. Why so difficult?
I'm going to San Luis Obispo at some point, but it's not that hard to visit me. Just DM me and then come visit. You're not far. You are not far. I love when people come visit me. So come visit me, check out the shop. And I don't know, like those people who visited me in the beginning of the year, they got the short end of the stick because the end of the year, this place is a lot more organized than when I've only been here since February and it feels like I've been here for 5 years. Daily refinement, 2 months equals a year. It's really fast paced here.
Yeah, because everything's just changing all the time and a lot happening.
Duncan likes selling ephemera. Ephemera is a great niche, but it requires a little bit more expertise. I don't know if I would start with ephemera. I would start with easy to ship items. Ephemera is more difficult to ship.
Larry says, and basically you turn your business into a wholesale business, right?
I don't think so. Because wholesale would be, my average order size is only 2 items, Louis, so it's not really the best, or Luis, not really the best type of wholesale. Wholesale, you really don't start getting economies of scale until you're ordering at least 100 items. And I don't sell anything in hundreds of items because it's too hard for me to facilitate here. I buy only wholesale at this point, but I don't sell. Wholesale is very different than what I do. For example, I have 27,000 pairs of size 27 jeans. That's like every person that's a size 27 hopefully has been hooked up by my store in some way or form. But like you can't wholesale that because no reseller wants only size 27. So unfortunately, I got to find the final customer. Michael offers free postage, 1-day handling. Your listing has a green, free day, free shipping on your listings. How do you get rid of that? I think you want that.
Well, it says 4-day.
Oh, 4-day.
Yeah, they do 1-day handling, but it says 4-day free shipping.
It only says 4-day free shipping if you're close enough that they think that will happen. If that's what you're worried about.
That it's saying it's too long.
That's hard because eBay tries to overestimate.
I see. Regime says, I want to start eBay selling, but what would be the first steps to be on a good standing?
Never lose any items. Ship immediately. When I first started, I had like 1 hour shipping because I I got a cardboard box out of the garbage, and that was my inventory system. Everything I sold was in the cardboard box. So when it sold, I just walked over to the cardboard box. No inventory system required in the beginning. Got the item, put it in the package that I got free out of the garbage. Dollar tape from the dollar store, shipped it out. I also found out that you can check out laptops, printers, and Wi-Fi from the library. So like, you really can get started with nothing. So the library will help you out, help you get started. And all the books you could ever want on how to do any kind of business are at the library for free also. And I'm trying to make my group free if you're willing to do the work. So if you want it, the resources will appear. It's 7:30 a.m. in... Duncan, are you in New Zealand or are you in Germany? Can't remember.
Humid.
Let's see here. I think that's it, guys. So I just wanted you guys to remember that sourcing a profitable item, picking inventory from a date-based inventory system, picking, packing, and shipping an item in under 2 minutes, prepping an item for sale in under 3 minutes, pricing and researching an item under 3 minutes, staging and photographing an item under 3 minutes, listing and optimizing an item under 3 minutes, customer service, administrative, resetting to 0 once a week, bookkeeping and accounting once a week, fixing your existing listings. Hopefully every 2 weeks you're working on that. You don't have to fix your listings if you just did it right the first time. And customer service, I do recommend at least 5 minutes multiple times throughout the day. All of that equals $30 an hour or more. So just got to get your times down on all these different processes, and you can basically support yourself with this.
He's in Sydney.
Sydney! Does it concern me that folks are raiding delivery trucks now? No, but I have had a lot of different things stolen over the years. So it doesn't concern me because it's just a rounding error. Even though there are all these people stealing things, 99.999% of things still arrive. Like, you wouldn't not sell because you're afraid that UPS will steal your package or your package will get stolen. As long as you shipped it out properly and the tracking shows scanned, the post office or UPS or FedEx, they got your back. They will, as long as it was shipped and scanned, you will not lose any money. You already did your job. So let the post office insurance agents work their magic if you get stuff stolen. I guess I'll take that last question from Upscale.
Upscale says, you ever think about making your own products?
Yes. Having your own products is great. I definitely think about that all the time. Again, that's why I like the idea of my mentorship, because it's a recurring value every single month. That's my own product. I might do some merch with the Make Progress Daily moniker. I really like that slogan. So maybe we'll do more
You
merch.
make some t-shirts or something.
I want to make I love small goods and pouches and writing instruments. I would love to make a pen. I think that would be really cool. I have this gravity pen that I've been using that I really like, that essentially, it's a pencil, a red pen, and a black pen, and you just change what it is by gravity. So 3 different writing instruments in one. I would love to have something like this for resellers, just to keep in your pocket. Plus, people never have a pen, so it's nice to have a pen in your pocket. But if I could have one of these that said Make Progress Daily, I would be down for that. We've got,
More questions?
I guess, a couple more questions.
Blue Mander is saying, how do you feel about investing and selling collectibles and trading cards like hockey cards, Pokemon cards, basketball cards, etc.?
Amazing business. Cardboard is worth more than money sometimes. So I'm a big fan of doing that start to finish. A lot of people sell trading cards, and we have a specific sports card / Pokemon call in our group, and it's very popular. So I would definitely pick one route, though. It'd be difficult to grade and do raw. Just do one category of sports cards since it's so wide.
There's a few people asking about the how to join or how to get free membership.
So I'm going to be releasing a sample $20 profit guide shortly. And if you guys just want to make one of those, you can submit it to me and I'll send you a link to join the group for free. You'll get 1 month free with the coupon that I send you. So essentially what I'm looking for is the brand, the category, a little brief introduction on the category or the brand, give us a little history, and then give us 20, you guys tell me in the chat, should it be 20 or 25 solds that sell for over $30? Because what I want is for people to be able to scan those listings and get an idea of what keywords are making things sell. So should it be 20 or 25 in that? And I think if you show the work, show where you came up with the keywords, and I'm happy to reward you. It's like a scholarship for people who want to get the work done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're almost pure comics on eBay, easy to do and profitable. I didn't release the podcast for some reason because I forgot, but last week's podcast, which will release, maybe I'll release it later today. Sean, he does $2 million a year just in comics. Just interviewed him. It was a really good conversation. Comics are really profitable, and he even makes his own. So he resells, he orders them wholesale for modern books. He makes his own, he has his own artist, his own publishing company. It's really cool. So comics is a really, really big category. And I'm enjoying One Piece. I'm trying to knock out all 1,000 episodes. It's going to take me forever. But I'm now watching Netflix on 1.5 speed. And it's been great because now I can watch 1.5 times more shows.